could improve those schools, and if we could have effective preschool programs for poor kids, and it's a debate of whether that's happening, what's your optimism that could make a real difference? Or is that just something that might be an illusion as well?
Well, here's the way to think about that, or at least here's the way I think about it. I'll just ask you the question: what percent of waking hours between ages of 0 and 18 do you think children spend in schools? Take a guess.
That's a great question.
Well, I'll tell you.
You tell me the answer. It's a rhetorical question. I know. Go ahead, Susan.
It's a rhetorical question with an actual answer. It's between about 13 and 15%. It's not much. So my thinking is, you can do things in schools. I mean, we know that. We know some things make schools better, and that when we make schools better, kids do better. But the solution, if you're looking for a silver bullet, or even, a brass bullet, is not going to be in schools. Can I challenge that? Something about families.
Can I challenge that for a second?
Okay.
I love that point. I'm very sympathetic to it. And yet, people like Rick Hanishek, who's been a guest on this program, Raj Chetty, others have argued, no, it's all, if you could just have good teachers in schools, you could have enormous impacts on children's lifetime earnings. Now, I don't think that's the only thing we care about, but it's one of the things we definitely do care about, is that transmission between human capital, education, truly absorbed, and earnings. And they find these huge effects. Do you not agree with them? Even through that 13 to 15% opportunity.
So I think with extraordinary effort, you can have substantial effects in schools. I don't think you can close the gap between advantaged and disadvantaged kids with schools only. And I think that is a very expensive approach to the problem. I think there are ways to get parents to do the things they actually want to do but aren't doing, things like read to their children, get their kids to actually go to school, things like that, using much less expensive techniques. Getting super high quality teachers in all the schools in the United States is, I think it's a great idea. I love that idea. I think it's just not possible. I think that there's much less variance in the quality of schools already than there is in the variance of the quality of families. So I think we latch on to schools because it's an institution. We know how to change institutions. We know how to work with institutions. We know how to measure things in institutions. So it's reassuring to work with institutions. I'm all for it, but that's not the solution to the problem in my estimation. The solution to the problem in a sustainable way that is not so costly as to become prohibitive is to get families to do the things that families ought to do, and mostly that they already know they ought to do.
Let me ask you a variation then on this.